part of the problem is like it's hard to design an actual interesting boss fight, and usually developers just give them large amounts of health, or like either they give them large amounts of health or like some kind of unfair combo. I just realized I'm chucking daggers at that guy too. Okay, this is gonna be kind of a fun combination. I like this. Okay, let's grab these. But I was gonna bring up Salt and Sanctuary. Actually, Salt and Sanctuary is an absolutely amazing game. Probably one of my favorites from... Was it early last year or the end of the previous? I don't remember if it was a 2016 or 2015 game. But that game was absolutely phenomenal as far as like just basic design goes. For the most part, there weren't a whole lot of like really unfair bosses. There was like kind of the pirate guy who was a bit of a jerk. But almost everything felt fair, balanced, and genuinely interesting. Most of the enemies... I mean, I guess really it followed the actual Souls-like mechanics. This game is I think this game wanted to be a metroidvania roguelike Souls-like somewhere along the way. But the problem is Souls-like Souls-like mechanics require a very specific level of design and like methodology, and I don't think this game can manage it because it's too quick. Things go to hell in a handbasket rather fast. His torches do a ton of damage. Let's see. I guess I can just drop a... Well, I guess I could always do that. Should probably burn these guys out just in case they can sneak up on me. Though it doesn't look like they're going to. I'd absolutely love to see a roguelike that actually plays kind of similarly to Salt and Sanctuary. I think that would be an absolutely phenomenal game in its own right. Whoops. Guess I gotta remember, I can reflect those if I really want to. If it'll let me. Because there's something really satisfying about the methodicalness. Okay, I guess... Let me rephrase this. A metroidvania roguelike, Souls-like, whatever, that isn't freaking Necropolis. That game needed work. Do you have a preference as to whether or not you watch on Twitch or YouTube? I'm gonna be totally honest. I generally prefer it if people I will generally prefer it if people watch on Twitch than YouTube. One, because the Twitch partnership is actually possible, and YouTube doesn't seem to care about me enough to give me a YouTube partnership for, you know, streaming. Now, okay. The other thing is, of course, it's so much easier for me to parse what people are saying when I'm streaming to Twitch over YouTube. YouTube has the kind of nice little portraits, but they kind of turn into visual noise. Whereas Twitch has always had the really convenient colored names. So if I have a choice between the two, I generally prefer Twitch, if only because I can actually read the comments without sitting down and being like, so what? Okay, kill them all. Oh, he's not in the teleportation phase yet. Now he is. And now he's dead. Damage taken, collect cells. No, I'll just keep the extra life. I don't mind both, but I would like it if YouTube actually had colored text chat as well. Why did I roll down there? I don't know. Extra health. No, the boots are funny, but like I'm actually really enjoying these throwable torches. Like they're not nearly as bad as I thought they were. I thought they were kind of a gimmick support weapon, but they're actually pretty decent. But yeah, no, it's just the format sucks. Like, portraits you kind of have to look at to be able to recognize them. Whereas normally with like a colored name, it's just like, okay, so so-and-so is green, blue, banana. Okay, you know, the other thing I can do, I forget about this part. I can block these guys. They're significantly less dangerous to me. Though I really wish you would actually make them drop their axe or something like that. Let's see. Could I use the boots at a later date? Yeah, probably. I think I'm just tired. This is part of the reason why I'm not interested. Generally, I base my builds early, as opposed to, like, late. Usually, if I find something interesting early on a run, I will keep with that, and, you know, not change unless, like, I have no other options. Because, honestly, I'm kind of at the point where I can beat this game without too many things, as long as I've got enough stat points to make it work. Because that, like, you know, 20% damage bonus from being a slightly higher level weapon, it only makes so much of a difference. Whereas, like, the fire torrent the other day, that was, like, beautiful nonsense. Okay. Made a dumb joke there about the whole, like, banana being a color thing. I don't know how many of you guys ever, like, messed around with crayons, but one of my favorite things to do is to buy the, like, you know, get one of those, like, 1,000 color crayon packs or, like, whatever ridiculous shit that they, like, sell. And I assume they probably still do. I just... I'm just not as interested, I guess? I don't know. Well, obviously not. I don't use crayons anymore, but, when I was a kid, it was always super satisfying to, like, just flip through the box and be like, what's this color? What's this color? What's this color? What's this color? And, like, some of them were ridiculous. Like, one of them very probably was banana, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, yeah, sorry. Had to deal with stream things. I don't like that. Anyway, but, one of my favorites, and this is something I guess I figured out when I was an adult, but apparently there was a color, and it may still be a color, honestly. Okay, so we already went in this door. Wait, the color was called Banana Mania, and it started in production in 1998, and it's still being made. That's hilarious. But one of the colors that I very specifically remember was West Virginia Coal Miner, and I didn't find this out until I was in middle school, I think. But me and some friends were, like, on the internet or something. We found out about West Virginia Coal Miner, and I was in North Carolina at the time, which is pretty damn close to West Virginia from what I remember. So, like, one of the kids actually had a coal mining family before they had moved to North Carolina, and they were just, like, super offended that, you know, this was a color in a box of crayons. I thought it was hilarious, but now that I'm even older, I'm just like, wait a second. That's, like, super not okay. Still funny, but oof. Okay, I'm just gonna toss bombs down in here with this guy. I guess, actually, I can kill him. He's not actually nearly as dangerous as I probably think he is. I'll just throw fire over here. I guess what I can do is also, like, just do that. There we go. Yeah, the boosted damage cluster bomb is too good to pass up here. Wait, which color? West Virginia Coal Miner. It's like it's a gray. Like, kind of a dark gray. Which is super screwed up. Let's see, what's my opinion on the fact that there's a white crayon? To you, that particular color is useless. Actually, why can't I set anything on fire here? That's weird. The white crayon is used for blending, generally. So I've used pastels, which I guess the white actually does things, but the if you're just going by regular crayons, the white crayon is absolutely a blending color and not much else. Also depends on what kind of not color you're going for, like what paper you're working on. Most people worked on like white paper and stuff, but yeah, in in art college, I was actually doing, like... I was doing stuff with, clear pastel, which you'd really think would be useful. Oh, useless, but that was how we, like, blended all our colors together and stuff like that. And it was super useful. And it made me kind of appreciate crayons a little bit more. I'm like, I did this as a kid. Har har. Crazy thing is, when we were doing our pastel segment, very specifically... Ooh, we might actually want this. Explodes, freezing nearby enemies, inflicting damage. Slowdowns 4 times longer. Bleed damage when it thaws out. We might want that, if only because that'll keep the boss nearby. Might not, though. So we were doing the pastel segment, and we were all supposed to go off and buy this honestly ridiculously expensive art kit. Which was not fair. Like, it was a couple $100 to pick the thing up. But it was pricey. And so some students would, you know, refuse to pick it up, which totally they're right, and you know, they'd have to kind of figure it out themselves. One specific girl I very, very distinctly remember showing up with, that's a cursed sword, let's not do that. One specific girl showed up with crayons, like just basic Crayola crayons, for a pseudo-professional grade drawing class. And she was very adamant that they were perfectly fine. And now that I'm thinking about it, she was probably right, because it's kind of bullshit to make people spend, you know, a good 50, 60 bucks on effectively professional grade crayons just for one class. Unless, like, you actually want to do it. You know, use pastels as your medium. I definitely spent a lot of money on art supplies that never got used to begin with. But beyond that, sorry, brain farts, going through things. But like beyond that, like who gives a shit about pastels anymore? But me at the time, I was definitely kind of pissed off because I had to buy this thing, and you know, here's Prissy McGoody Two Shoes being like, nope, I'm just gonna use crayons, and I'm like, the hell are you doing? And it made me like really offended. I think I'd still look down on her for it today, because like if you're going to do something, at least, you know, kind of do it right. I think maybe it was also kind of a matter of attitude, and it wasn't that her attitude was like, you know, I really can't afford pastels. It's like, nope, crayons are just as good as pastels. And I'm like, that's not how this works. That's really not how this works, but alright. I'm surprised this works as well as it does. The hook guys are probably going to be the biggest issue. Maybe not. I don't know. Might be any number of things. Jesus Christ. Look at all these guys. How many bats can we fight at once? The answer is yes. That's... And unrelated news, I watched Wonder Woman today. That was good. It was a good movie. I liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as, like, Captain America, for example, which the movie parallels, like, really hard. But I thought it was a good movie. I think it's mainly I just had a hard time getting into any of the supporting characters. But it was, like, it was decent. Very, very stylish. They got that part down. I think it was also kind of one of those where, like, I really like the idea of superheroes in, like, I guess self-inserted into like historical settings. Now I'm not gonna spoil any more of Wonder Woman. Sorry if I already have anything. I guess the thing about side characters and like Captain America, but like that should be obvious from the trailer. I like the idea of superheroes being inserted into various like conflicts throughout history, just because it kind of gives me a way to, as cheap as this is, or as silly as this probably is, I don't really like to watch a whole lot of, whoops, ow, ooh. I don't really like to watch a whole lot of... I don't like to watch a whole lot of, like, actual World War I or World War II movies. Like, I can respect that they're being made and that they're probably really good. But ultimately, it's just not really my cup of tea. There are a couple that, like, definitely stand out as being worth watching. I think I really enjoyed Saving Private Ryan, and maybe that's part of the reason why I don't like all the other ones. Is because, like, I saw a really good one and it's kind of ruined the experience a lot across the way. But, like, a superhero movie is a good excuse to actually enjoy one of those, like, settings again. And so, I went into Wonder Woman hoping that it would have more World War I. And it had surprisingly little of it. It was just a backdrop. Sorry if that's terribly spoily. I'm trying not to be too much. I was just like, oh, this is a really cool movie. But I wanted World War I. Clearly, I should actually find some, like, good World War I media and watch that instead. Because that would probably be better. But yeah, I don't know. Band of Brothers is the greatest war movie video ever. Isn't that, like, a crazy long, like, pseudo-series? Yeah. We have an extra guy. Let's see. Honestly, I wish there were more media that actually dealt with, like, war in kind of like an alternate world. Like, I really liked Lord of the Rings and Star Wars because it was these kind of, like, big war scenarios between multiple forces and stuff like that. And it was fun to watch because I could get into the world without being bored by the, like, reality of it. You see too much, like, political gesturing from people in real life, so it's like, I don't really want to hear about, like, how the Germans and the Americans have these, like, cultural differences and so on and so forth. It's like, nah, give me some, like, honest-to-goodness, like, pseudo-aliens or straight-up aliens or, I don't know. But I do like the idea of, like, I don't know, what's a good example? I'd absolutely love to see, like, kind of a, as crazy as and stupid as this is gonna sound, I rather enjoyed the Harry Potter setting. I never really liked Harry Potter that much, but I'd absolutely love to see, like, World War I and or II set within, like, more or less an analog of the Harry Potter universe. Because clearly they could never get away with actually doing that. There's no way that would get written or directed or anything like that. Hello, Firebrands 6. Extra skill points. And once again, I'm an all-rounder. Happens. Wait, what? Where's the teleport out of here? Oh, it's right here. Okay, got it. But so, like, I'd love to see, like, World War I or World War II set from, like, the wizarding community standpoint, instead of, you know, kind of standard. Because I think that would be cool. Because I think I was always disappointed with Harry Potter specifically because nobody was good at fighting, period. It's just kind of like, you disarmed them, congrats. Oh, your friend's dead. Oh, no. And it was hard to get into because it's just like, aren't there, like, responsible people that are able to, like, address these threats? No? Okay, got it. And so I'd like to actually see a situation like that where it's like, yeah, it's straight up battle wizards doing battle wizard stuff in, like, an actual straight up battle. I don't know, I'm grasping at straws here. Let's get one more into health and then that's probably enough health. Any more than this is unnecessary. It's one of the reasons why I never really liked Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. I thought he was kind of a neat character as kind of the, like, wise, sagey guy. But I still think he is, like, one of the shittiest wizards in all of, like, media. Because he casts, like, 3 spells, maybe. And they're all boring. Like, if he was a D&D character, he'd have, like, maybe 2 levels in Wizard, and the rest is just in Fighter. Which is so boring. I had that problem with Harry Potter, I guess, to some degree, too, because there was, like, such a limited set of spells that everybody would use for combat and confrontation. And I was just like, no, you're goddamn wizards. You got, like, whole spell books and shit. Use them. Yeah, remember the time Gandalf set pine cones on fire? Yeah, and it was, like, the pivotal moment. It was the pivotal moment for the entire scenario. It made no goddamn sense. Because if you didn't set the pine cones on fire, the orcs would have hit. I mean, honestly, I guess, was it Bilbo doing shit might have been the pivotal moment. The point stands, like, come on, dude, cast a fireball. I grew up with Dungeons and Dragons, and I think I've always been mildly disappointed that, that high fantasy isn't, like, particularly, represented well. In the, in media. Like, you kind of try, and usually just ends up being dull. Mainly because nobody's particularly creative with magic. And I want something where it's, like, super creative with magic. That poison cloud is actually really handy. I'm just gonna... Did they even hit? Nope. Well, it doesn't look like there's anybody else. Oh, there kind of is. At least the bats don't seem to turn invisible, which is kind of handy. Oh, we do have the secret. I might be able to do it. Problem is traps. I'm also kind of a methodical build here, which makes this a bit harder. Might be doable. Do a lot of damage. This is actually, like, probably... I'm not going to say one of my stronger runs, but I feel very on point for a guy that, like, can't get up without creaking. Which is surprising me. Also, these fire torches are really good. I mean, honestly, anything with an elemental effect in this game has gotten such a huge power boost from the recent changes. But I like that. Honestly, I like elemental combos and stuff like that. Makes it so much more interesting. Let's see. Gandalf is more like an angel. Yeah, but, like, if you're going to be an angel and you're going to be going around as, like, this great wizard, you better actually play the part. It's like if I showed up and I started telling everybody that, like, I'm really good at bicycling, and then you found out that I can only bicycle with training wheels, and it's just like, everybody would be justified at being angry at me for being kind of fraudish. It also bugs me just how much Gandalf gets surprised by shit. It's just like, you'd think you'd have some level of, like, danger sense, like, oh shit, maybe this is a bad place to be. No. Now, honestly, I think Gandalf gets captured more than anybody else. In lore, he's forbidden from using his true power because of reasons. It's so boring. It would just be so nice if, like, Gandalf just sat down and is like, well, I'm gonna let loose today because screw it. Shit's totally doomed if I don't. My other problem is, like, in a lot of cases, when you have, like, a magical backdrop, if the mage does have, like, mighty powers, they have, like, 1 or 3, and it's just like, look, you can do more than just, like, a magical firebomb explosion thing. The moment you need to, like, solve a puzzle, you just sit there kind of scratching your head and being like, huh, how's this doohickey work? Back to the D&D things, like, spellcasters get all this, like, fun utility, and it's just like, I have no solutions for this problem right now. It's like, yes, you do! You're just lazy and a crap wizard. Or druid, or cleric, or really anything. I don't know. I just want a good D&D movie. Because there aren't enough of them. Because I saw the real D&D movie. Oh boy, that was bad. What did have good magic in it? I think maybe that's part of the problem. I can't think of a single movie that's ever made me feel like, yeah, magic was like really well handled in that. Let's see, do I know when the status effects max out? No idea. Usually it's around like 5 or 6. Is this pre-recorded? Har. I mean, I guess I could see people thinking that, but like, no. Well, let's keep pumping it into the firebrands. Let's see, he did kill a Balrog. Yeah. Except for he was fighting the Balrog with, like, staff flashes and stabbing. Talking about the D&D movie, the demonized D&D? No, I'm talking about the D&D movie where the one of the characters' names was, like, literally snails. And he, like, died midway through for some weird, bizarre reason. Ah, crap. Alright. I guess I'll just dodge him. We do enough damage. Holy shit, we actually do a lot of damage. There we go. Probably should have gone with the fire grenade, if only for this section. But that's okay. I wonder if you can kill those underneath. Hard to say. Holy crap. You can really stack some serious fire on this guy. If you can hit him. Yep, there we go. Oh, good time to drink, honestly. The nice part is, since only half my damage is set up here to be like actual attacks, and since it's ranged, I kind of don't need to care as much about my positioning. Like, if they're going to be doing that, like, run along the ground thing, shit's on fire, yo. This might actually be one of my easiest clears of this guy ever. As long as we don't get hit by that charge, which is completely brutal. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, that doesn't really set him on fire as much as I'd like to. It's so nuts how I've even got this boss on farm now. Like, I should not have this boss on farm. He was kicking my ass like 7 ways to Tuesday until I got the damage booster. And now here we are. They were so mean, but now I know. Now I know. Unfortunately, I really wish these guys would take damage while they're underground. Ow. I wonder if they're, if the status effects don't tick down, though, while they're down like that. Okay. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. He didn't even get to use the really ridiculous move. Well, that's nice. But yeah, I know there are a couple of D&D movies, but none of them are good. I think I also have the same problem with the Jedi. They're supposed to be these, like, mystical space wizards, and most of the time they're just hitting people with laser sticks. Which is cool, don't get me wrong. But, like, I want to see people, like, chucking shit around more. I guess Palpatine did that. It's sad when the Jedi that you like the most is Palpatine. And we're dead. I wonder how much money I have. Did the Warcraft movie have good magic? No. It had flashy magic, but it didn't have good magic either. Palpatine isn't a Jedi. Shh. Spoilers. Well, sort of. How much money do we have here? 60,000. I'm hoping I can, like, save up more than this. But it's gonna be rough.